Okay, this is the third video to start in Dirtmouth. Let's go somewhere else. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hollow Knight. I did not have anything planned there to sync with the name. I'm very sorry about that. Last time, we fought the White Defender, a secret dream rematch available in the Royal Waterways just underneath Dung Defender's arena, inside his little cozy, poop home. I was gonna say his poop glue, but that doesn't make sense, because it's like, you know, like igloo, but it's made out of Let's move on from this topic, anyway. So we did that, and then we took the remaining 3 flames from the final round of flames back up to Dirtmouth, handed them into the Grim Troop, or rather, actually, we didn't hand them in at all. We just had our final battle against the amazing Nightmare King Grim boss battle to close off the Grim Troop side quest, and then I showed an alternative way that the Grim Troop side quest can go. This time, our main plan is at the bottom of the world. However, to start, I believe that the White Lady has further comments about Grimchild once he's in full power mode like he is right now. Oh yeah, also the residents of Dirtmouth have something to say about the carnival being gone, so I'll go back up to have a chat with them very soon. I just wanted to not start the video in Dirtmouth for the 3rd time in a row. I'm sure you understand. Maybe. Do you? You might not. You might actually prefer every video starting in Dirtmouth because it just makes the most sense. It's the hub area. Or is it really the hub area? Sure, it's a place you return to sometimes. Man, Grimchild just loves having a face full of thorns for whatever reason. It is a place you return to a lot of times, but it's not really a hub. I guess it does connect to the cliffs, the world below, and then the Crystal Peak. It's not really where you travel to go to other parts of the world. You travel to any of the stag stations in order to do that, so... Your companion's eyes burn with a familiar flame. Success then for the Scarlet Heart, and irony to use my spawn to grow its own. I'm sorry. If I didn't do it, I would have missed out on one of the best bosses in this game. I know you, creature, and the form time shall bring. You may be all and one, clan and master, but this land shall never bear so foreign a king. I'm not sure that's Grimm's goal exactly, is it? Well, I don't know what their goal is, but I hope it's not that. I'm in agreement with you here, partial agreement. Prepare well, but don't tell. Yeah. I understand, Mom. You don't need to nag me about it. I mean, literally, the White Lady is the main character's mom, so that works really well, surprisingly. Even though it may have just sounded like fun commentary, it was actually lore relevant. I know, I'm so smart making this series. Okay, now without the Grim Troop sign being here, I think I need to move this a little bit. There we go, it's perfectly even, right in between the stag station and this. Aha, good riddance, that creepy carnival has vanished and the town's returned to its former self. Nice and quiet, as I like it. It's quite enough to deal with just the occasional traveler. Whole structures appearing out of nowhere, dreadful music, horrific masks, all far more than one old bug should have to face. Alright, I think that's actually the only piece of dialogue. I'm not sure if the vendors react to it, but let's talk to them again, just in case. Hiya, travelers, Nailmaster. They sure are traveling. My travels are traveling. He's still sleeping. How long has it been? Like 8 hours? He could probably wake up by now. Yeah, okay, Elderbug is the only one who reacts to them leaving. That's what I thought. It's just everyone had a reaction to them arriving, so I was thinking they would all have a reaction to them leaving, but I guess even this game can't be that detailed. Okay, with all that done, I guess it's time to get to our main objective. Let's head down to Hidden Station at the bottom of the map. Well, not really the bottom of the map, you know what I mean? Close to the bottom of the map. Alright, let's rest at the bench, and let's figure out our charms. Now, actually, at the end of last time, I was about to put on this tank build here, but then I have later decided it wouldn't be a great fit for what we're doing this time, so yeah, I'm gonna have to shed this and put it on later. I've been saying shed a lot to describe things like that. So what I want to bring into this, and you're gonna see why I want to bring this in very, very soon. Hive Blood. Deep Focus. Grub Song. And what else, honestly? I don't think anything else will be that needed. You want to avoid Sharp Shadow or anything that really affects your dashes, which now that I think about it, Sharp Shadow's the only one that really does, because Dash Master just increases the frequency of dashing. So yeah, otherwise, I actually will refrain from putting either of these on, just in case movement speed messes me up. Long Nail, I guess, helps. It's just, you know, none of the charms we have are particularly great for what I'm about to do. I guess maybe Stalwart Shell? I don't really see why not. We're not going to be getting much Geo, so this won't have use. I don't need this when I have all of these on, and you'll see why. Yeah, sure. Let's go with Stalwart Shell. I could have considered having a minion charm on to accompany us, but I feel like that would be a little distracting. Now, what exactly am I preparing for? Well, why don't we head right on over to the corpse in white armor out here in the middle of this room and find out for ourselves. Once you have the awoken dream nail, his dream is yours for the taking. Welcome to the palace grounds in their prime. At least that's what I assume this is. Might be a more like imaginary, idealized version of it, like the many other dream realms we've seen, but it's something like that. The corpse in white armor is the corpse of a new enemy. This is a Kingsoul. They have 2 attacks. A basic swipe where they make you press Windows key and stop being able to fight for a second, or they slash twice, and then they can throw their weapon like a boomerang, which is probably the much harder of the 2 attacks, is they throw it at you, and so your movements will probably have to be a little weird. And it seems like, okay, no, they do rear it up in a different side of themselves, depending on which attack they're using. You can see the 2 attacks right there. They have a decent amount of health, but they really shouldn't be that bad after all you've seen and fought. They should have at least brought a shield along. That would have made them a considerable foe. But as they are, they're dead and melting away into the ground. Guard construct of Hallownest's palace and skilled wielder of the curved claw blade. Its heavy armor protects a fragile body. You only need 1 more kill to get this one, which goes to show how few of them there are in the game. I think they should have extended that courtesy to some other journal entries, but I've talked about this long enough. Let's go on inside. This is the White Palace. What I assume to be the main castle, central hub of Hallownest, as well as what you could consider the final dungeon of Hollow Knight. But that definitely depends on things, and it won't be necessarily the final dungeon, the final area for this playthrough. Again, we start off with yet another new enemy. I can't remember what this is called, but they are mostly harmless. They are wing molds, alright, and we need to defeat 8 more. Except, as you can see, we haven't defeated any. Wing molds are mostly harmless, they stay still, and are only really harmful if you touch them. But they cannot be killed. This is because you're meant to use them as platforms, to bounce off of them and reach this higher ledge. Then we're given a bench here, so if you haven't put on the charms that I've put on right now, you might want to do that here, because this is going to help immensely. That's a very strange beginning, an enemy that isn't really an enemy, just more of an obstacle, or perhaps even a tool, a useful thing than anything else. And then we've got a lot of platforming. Let's wall jump. Dash down below that. Look at that background, man. I don't know what those twisting vines are, but they're really cool. I can't believe the White Palace has such a monochrome color palette, yet they make it work with all the plants, the backdrop, the very shiny white mist and particle effects going on here. Actually, I don't think I properly showed what was here. We just passed right by something interesting, something that I should stop. You see a platform in there surrounded by 2 doors, and this ledge is just barely big enough for us to stand on. That's honestly kind of adorable. I like that. Very adorable ledge there. Can't break that in the background. Can't destroy all of the White Palace's lamps. How disappointing. Onward. There's secret up here? No, but there's pretty looking bugs flying ahead. I don't know what those are. You can't kill them, I'm pretty sure. They're one of the few things you can't kill. There's one of you here. This is a special soul totem that contains more soul than any of the soul totems locatable in Hallownest. All the soul totems in Hallownest either give you 3 hits of soul or 5 hits of soul, whereas this one gave not that many more, actually. Maybe it is just 5 hits of soul. All right, well, I guess. I swear it gives a lot more than usual, though. I guess I'll have to put that to the test later on. At the grass, someone needs to mow the lawn around here. It's really, honestly, this is a very unkempt palace, if that's how you use the word unkempt, I'm not really sure. And here we have yet another wing mole to fight, and is the last one we need for the entry. And in fact, is the last one that you fight, which is pretty funny, honestly. Okay, actually, that's not necessarily true, but depending on what you do in this game, it is somewhat true. You can see that the King's moles are made of void creatures. The void is a substance / entity / thing that we saw down at the bottom of the world in the abyss. And supposedly the king was able to use it for all sorts of things. For instance, creating our kind, the vessels. But that's not all. He also created the King's molds out of void, and that's why you can see the little void creatures melting away afterwards. On top of this, the Collector is a void creature, and the idea behind the Collector is that the Collector was created to protect creatures of Hallownest by putting them inside of jars to keep them safe from the infection. So, technically, by rescuing the grubs from the jars, we have been exposing them to infection. We have been going against the safety protocols of the king. That said, though, it seems the grubs are just fine. They resist the infection just fine, so I think it's better for the grubs. I guess for whatever reason, the Collector really went crazy for the grubs and started capturing them all over the place, and we helped put a stop to that. His practices were getting a little unethical in the end. So that was an interesting little switch we hit. It lit up the screen or whatever that was supposed to be, but didn't seem to do anything else. So if you backtrack, go the only direction you really can out of that room, you can now see the door is open. We have hit the lever, we've hit the switch that opens it, and you can see the light above has turned on. That's the visual language that the rest of this place uses, and this is the world's fastest elevator. I feel like that could, harm you in real life, an elevator moving that fast. Then again, I rode an elevator going that fast in Chicago one time, and all it really did was, I think you could kind of feel it pressing up against the bottom of you as it moved up super fast, but the most that happened was your ears would fill up with pressure, and that's about it. Got spikes here, so this place is getting a little more dangerous, and yes, that's what I was waiting on that platform for. It wasn't just me talking about the story telling the story before I'm moving on, but it was, I was just waiting so I could properly show off the spikes, even though you can clearly see them and I didn't need to show off the spikes. Shush, that's how I do things. I pride myself at being Captain Obvious in my Let's Plays. Out here, we can hear faint murmuring in the distance. If we climb up, we can see who's doing all this murmuring. These guys are not really enemies, as they bow to you as you come close. Why to us? I'm not really sure. Anyway, you can kill them for daring to bow to the wrong person, I guess. Royal Retainer, that's what they're called. So yeah, that's all they do. They're basically just free soul, the most loyal and devout servants of the king. And I guess we're killing them for being loyal to such an idiot. I don't know. I don't know if the Pale King was such an idiot necessarily. But I mean, his kingdom did die, and he's probably at fault for it somehow, I guess. I don't know. I never really thought about it in my head that much, even though I do sort of know what's going on. I'm not sure if the king is exactly responsible for the downfall in any way. I'm not sure why I'm killing them. Oh, actually, I do actually know why I'm killing all of them, because I want their entry. Simple, weak creatures find strength by forming a hive and obeying a ruler. Such creatures become the arms and teeth and claws of their monarch. I'm assuming you're not talking about these guys, are you? Because, arms and teeth and claws is not how I would describe them. Okay, we have another locked door with a similar looking elevator in there, but this time we got 2 lights above the door, so we have to find and hit 2 switches. In the center of this room is a bench, and this is now our new kind of hub area of the White Palace. That's because down here, there is an exit portal. I didn't show it, but the glowing golden thing that we spawned right next to when we entered the dream for the first time was an exit portal. So you can exit the White Palace whenever you want to go back to the main world for whatever reason. Should you die inside of the White Palace, which is entirely possible, I don't believe it counts as a real death, but you will still respawn at the last bench you sat inside of the dream world. Though you do not drop a shade. I think I died once off camera to experiment to see what happens, and yeah, it seemed like nothing actually that bad happened. Wait, there's a ledge? You can walk up here, what? But you have to walk or else you fall down. Okay, how many hits does this give? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 is all it gives. It's actually the same as a big soul totem from the Hallownest. Never mind. It's not special. The only thing special about it is that it has the King of Hallownest on it. I guess I'll refrain from killing them if I don't need to. And now, this is where the fun starts. We've got a new type of obstacle. This is a saw blade. They work the same in Spikes. You will die and respawn when being hit by them, and you cannot shadow dash through them. Even though you might think you cannot. So you must instead avoid them at all costs. And as you can see, the saw blades can also be set to move along a track. So we have to wait for it to go, dash through, jump in the safe area, wait for it to go by, and then get to the end before it catches up. And we are far from done with the last of them. The White Palace hasn't even started until now, really. This is what the White Palace is. It is the game's ultimate platforming challenge. It's not really about combat, it's about platforming, and this is why I recommend putting on the charms that you can. That was pretty close. With High Blood on, all you really have to do is, after taking a hit from a saw blade, wait for 10 seconds, and then you're done. You got that 1 health point healed back up. But in case you lose patience and you try it again before the 10 seconds are up, which I can totally understand, that's where Deep Focus and Grub Song come in. With Deep Focus and Grub Song equipped together, you are immune to platforming. And this is because after being hit twice, you will have enough soul to use a spell. And then by healing... oh my god, that was close. And then by healing, you heal 2 points of health. So you get all the health you just lost back every single time. Basically, with Deep Focus and Grub Song on, you cannot die to platforming unless you are incredibly reckless and playing overly impatiently, or you just straight up forget to heal. This is a little tricky to get past, and the checkpoints here are quite mean. I'll be putting a counter on screen for every time I get hit by one of these saw blades from this point onwards, and we're going to see how many hits I take. I'm not going to keep track in the actual video, so I'll let editing me be the judge of my performance. Do not expect to get through this part easily, though. This can easily take you like an hour, or even more so, just because of how hard it is. With these charms equipped, the challenge of the White Palace is not dying, it's getting through it. Since you still have the whole getting hit by saw blades respawning system, you do have to get through each section in one go. Okay, I think you could jump up to the platform like that, or you can climb along the side here for a little bit of a more spicy route. Okay, I choose the spicy option. Oh! There we go! Didn't need to land on any of those metal platforms at all. I still haven't really truly lost any health. Alright, let's jump up. Jump up, but get down. Got a wall there. There's not much secret to find in here. There's one, actually no. There are a total of 3 major secret things to find, but all of them are still available even if you miss them your first time through. So you can always come back and find them again later, if you so wish. Okay, this part's a little hard. I recommend for them to wait until they go to the left, because then you have all the time in the world to get to the top of them. And then there's this. Oh boy, this one you have to dash through or like walk through. No, you have to walk through, not necessarily dash. It's really hard to tell where the saw blade's hitboxes are. I don't think it takes up the entire sprite. I don't know, it's very finicky, but you need to stand at the exact right spot in between them, and finding that exact right spot will definitely take you a lot of tries, a lot of hits. Then here, you have to bounce over the middle thing there, and then make sure to land safely on the other side, even though these two are going against each other. There we go. And you don't get a checkpoint during this at all. You die in here, you get hit in here, and you reset to the beginning of this tunnel. Can I make it through? Yes, I actually made it through first try. Didn't expect that. That's one of the hardest parts of this. Alright, now we have a small gap to fit through. You could crystal dash to, like, cement your position, but that's also possible. Then you can bounce off the bottom like that. If you don't know that you can bounce on spikes by now, or you haven't practiced it until this point, you better start practicing it. You're gonna need it. Especially for something optional within this place we'll see another day. This right here, a large one, obviously. Can I fall in this gap? Okay, you can. Can I get through here? Probably not. I don't think I can get through there, and shadow dashing will not work. No, shadow dashing does not work. Any spikes or any kind of obstacle like this whatsoever will hit you through your iframes on the shadow dash. Okay. Careful not to wall jump towards that thing. Want to wall jump down here where it's safest. Wait for it to go, then we quickly dash. There we go, then we quickly dash. Okay. With proper timing, you're at the end here. I don't remember what's out here. There's usually nothing to see out in these open areas, but I can check this one out real quick, just to satisfy y'all's curiosity. This seems to loop back to an earlier area, yeah. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god, you never actually have to go through any of this if you just go down. That's why this is here. Oh my god, that is so much easier. If you just go down there, there's no need to sink down through any of that. Man, I wish I knew that. I could have shown that as a shortcut. I think there are a few skips put into the level design like that. All right, I don't feel the need to kill you. You all clearly respect me for whatever reason, so why would I kill you because of that? Like, how dare you show me respect? I want to be the most hated. I wanted to be the most reviled creature alive. But then you guys bowed to me? I am no hero. Or whatever. That's one of the 2 switches we need. Let's rest on the bench for no real reason. Just to respawn all the royal retainers I slaughtered mercilessly. Then, this is the other side. I don't believe there's another doorway on this side. I could be wrong, though. Let's check. Nope, there is no doorway. There's no doorway directly opposite of the other one. Anything up above? If I had to guess, no. Nope, there's nothing. It's just more usual pointless corners that they inject into every room in this game, just to flesh it out a bit, add some detail, make the environments feel a little more real. Because, you know, the real world would definitely have some useless corners here and there. I gotta forgive that kind of level design sometimes. It's not completely bad just because it isn't providing a reward to the player for going into this random corner. Okay, hello. This one's a little tricky, but not impossible. Okay. There we go, do that, and then, there we go. You gotta, like, wait to start falling and then dash through. Either that, or you could squeeze through by, like, bouncing on it. Yeah, like that. There's a lot of ways you could do this. I would love to see, like, a speed run of the White Palace, played all the way through, just to see how much stuff you can skip. Oh my, okay, somehow that works. Just, like, how much you could optimize your movement here, because there's a lot of tricks you can do to get past. I want to see this now. Okay, that makes me wait until I'm all the way down there, but it seems like I can just climb up the left wall and then go up from here, and then wait for that to pass, and then, okay, never mind, that won't work. Gotta jump to the other wall then, and then keep going. Okay. I don't remember all of this, even though I have done this loads of times by now. I played through the White Palace a lot. Hello, empty view with nothing in it. But yeah, I don't remember a lot of level design, particularly because the place is really long. Anything optional to see down here? Okay. There is not. Sorry about the weird noise I made. Okay, wait. Can I? That's not something I can... I don't think that's anything I can reach. No, that's not. Okay, and I used up my double jump on my dash, so I'm not making it back safely. Okay, to the left, to the left, to the left. We have a room positively filled with saw blades. Question remains of where did these all come from? I mean, this is a dream world, so clearly this is someone's dream. Someone is dreaming of their castle being filled with 1,000,000 saw blades. I'll give you 3 guesses as to who that could be. I mean, this is the dream of that one Kingsmold sitting outside, the one dead Kingsmold, but like, why is that one Kingsmold dreaming about this, I wonder? Okay. Can you somehow get through this? It doesn't look like it. I feel like you might be able to squeeze through down there. Okay, maybe not. Being hit like that makes me reconsider. Let's drop down through the thorns there. Is there anything secret there? Probably not. Dash past. You cannot bounce on thorns, so do not try to be fancy in this room and skip some of it. You are not able to. Just this once, you are not able to be fancy. Sorry about the hiccup there. You can at least bounce up those spikes, so it's not completely worthless. And you can also do this. Oh my god. Wow! I didn't realize there would be a spike there. So where you're supposed to go normally, you're supposed to jump this way and do all this. But, ow. Oh, I'm down here now. It's actually gonna be kind of hard to get out of this, but I can do it. Yeah. Fuck. Maybe I can't. I just wanted to see if I could do the shortcut. Come on, let me do the shortcut. Most of my hits are gonna be from me trying fun tricks instead of, like, actually messing up. Again, I don't mean to flaunt my skill, but... it does exist. My skill exists. And I feel like I should acknowledge it. I shouldn't be incredibly humble. Ow, for fuck's sake. I feel like I'm just gifted when it comes to this game. I guess just because it's so simple in how it plays. And the controls are so tight and they're so fun. And so they're really easy to get good at, in my experience. And I think that's where most of my skill comes from. That, and I played the Godmaster DLC. Okay, I hope it sets my checkpoint back here. Please set my checkpoint back here if I pass through it again. I want my checkpoint here, not in some bullcrap later area. Okay, I gotta watch out for the small saw blade. There we go, made the shortcut. Then, keep going. Gotta go up here. There is a large one up here, but it's fine. You just wait at the beginning, and then you jump over it. And I think if you get hit by it, it's no real big harm. I don't think the previous checkpoint is that far back. I kind of wish the game would show you when it's saving your respawn spot, because sometimes you can be hit by something from platforming and be sent further ahead than where you were. And then sometimes you get hit by it and you're sent all the way back to the beginning of the room, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I kind of wish there was a visual indicator of that. Hold on. Okay, I don't really want to backtrack, but if I can get a better look at this room, is it possible for you to somehow jump up this way and get over this? Wait, 1 second. I'm backtracking real quick. I must. It is a requirement of me. And if I die, I'll just respawn here, so it's fine. Okay. Is it possible? Alright. Well, for one thing, I think you can fit through there. Maybe not. Okay, well, you might be able to... Here, let's start from here. Dash. Oh my god, you totally can! That's so cool! I'm discovering all sorts of shortcuts I had no idea about. Even though I've been through this a million times, I've always just gone through the level design as I believe it was intended to be gone through, because it was more fun for me that way. But now that I'm seeing all these shortcuts, man, this is pretty cool. And I'm glad to show these, because, you know, it's supposed to be a guide series, a walkthrough, showing all the little fun tricks about this game, and things like that. So, including these is kind of important. Kind of important. Not important enough for me to have considered doing it otherwise, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, this can be pretty rough, especially because for a lot of this, the saw blades can really surprise you out of nowhere, but this whole place does have a very trial and error-ish kind of design to it. You will have to get hit on purpose on a lot of these things in order to fully get it down and succeed at it, which is a bit of a shame, but I'm okay with it. It's something that I understand as a long-time Geometry Dash player. Not a long-time player. I played the game for like 2 years. What do I mean? Long-time Geometry Dash player. I mean, I guess I was in 8th grade when I first got into the game, and now I'm a lot older than that, but you know, I still wouldn't call myself long time. And that is the second of 2 levers, so we've now opened the way up to the top. I don't actually need to rest at this bench because there's gonna be one coming a little ways after this, but I decided to do it anyway because I felt like it. Up we go. Bounce on the spikes. Double jump up. Come on, that was easy. Can't you do this any harder? Okay, here we go. Now the wing molds are being included. Even though we open up the 2 switches, this is not the end just yet. We have a fair ways to go. Actually, quite a ways to go. So this wing mold, I think it is best to... So you know how when you're sliding down a wall, you can attack the other way? You want to slide down the wall, attack it that way, and while it's opened like that, it won't hurt you. So that's how you want to do this. If the wing molds are positioned in a way that makes progressing a little inconvenient, you can always jump on the wall and wait for them to float to the right position, because they idly fly around in circles, so you can wait for them to be in a better position so you can pass easier. Bugs of Hallownest believe that their king created this world and everything in it. For what purpose, I wonder? Were his subjects companions, or toys, or children? Such a mind seems unknowable. Alright, with these things encountered, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 more enemies that I haven't yet seen. I don't know what enemies those are, to be completely honest with you. Maybe they're in... Oh, I think I know where they are. Because, like, you know, aside from this place and the last Colosseum trial, we really don't have much left to do in the world, so... Alright, can we go down? Doesn't seem like it. If it starts disappearing in the clouds, that's a pretty definitive no, you cannot go this way. You cannot go this way either. Alright, let us lift ourselves to the next room. Oh boy, so gotta wait for it to go the other side, and then jump, dash through, and then get hit because it goes all the way on that platform. I think you can stand on the very edge and be safe from it. Maybe? I want to see this. I want to see this. Okay, maybe not. So it's best for you to move along quickly then. Now, this... okay, I stood right in the middle of danger. That was my bad there. Let me heal up real quick. I think that's the way you're, quote, intended to go, but if you go to the right, you can jump up in here. Watch out for that, and now you're up here. No need to deal with any of this bull crap over here. Yo, look at this. This is a whole thing. You have to, okay. Ow. You would have to jump up the other way and then fall down the middle way when you could just dash over and skip that whole thing. Okay, let's jump. I feel like I'm saying the same words a lot in this area, but, you know, I got good sleep last night. I'm at a high energy level, so that means that my commentary sucks. I still don't get that, but I'll stop repeating it, because I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing me say that by now. Alrighty. Tink, 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 tink. I'm just looking for secrets. I'm just looking for secrets. Nothing to see there. Alright, then. Let's keep going this way, then. And then... oh boy, now I have these things being introduced. Oh my god. These little spike shooty things, they were introduced just a few seconds ago, but I haven't acknowledged them until now for whatever reason. I don't know why, don't ask. You can time a bounce off of them. And I want to say their hitbox lingers for a little while longer than you'd expect, but I don't know if that's true. I don't know why I dashed there, honestly. I meant to do this. See if there's anything. There is not, so let me bounce up instead and bounce off the backside of this. Then double jump, bounce. There we go. You have to, like, chain together a wall jump into a double jump into a bounce. This is getting insanely difficult. And, this still really isn't the hardest that the platforming in this game gets, believe it or not. We'll see that another day. Very soon, though. Very soon. Alright, we're gonna hit you. And then I'm just gonna circle around the bottom like that. Skip going up, except, never mind, I have to go up. Okay. Might actually be better to start from this platform, that way you have a head start. Yeah, okay, you can just do that. There you go. There we go. Dash and double jump to that, double jump up here, wall jump off the tiniest little platform, which is really satisfying to do for whatever reason. I couldn't explain why. It's just so fun to be able to wall jump off of a very little thing. Okay, you guys. I can tell I'm supposed to start from here, dash over to that wall, but what if I do this? Yep, no need for that. Oh man, it is so fun to find all the things you can skip on repeat playthroughs. Okay, let's do this. This is rough because, again, when you fully charge Crystal Heart, there ain't no backsies. Wherever you're positioned on this, you're positioned there. So if you're positioned in such a way that gets you hit, you're getting hit. I think it might be possible to just... nope. I was spamming the jump button there, which normally cancels the Crystal Dash, so... yeah, it's not really easy to do. There we go. I guess maybe that saw blade in the middle is the problem, and if you just wait for that to be, wait for that to go away, you'll be fine. As you can see, you do have to cancel the Crystal Dash or else this one hits you. That's another instance of kind of trial and error, like how are you supposed to know that the first time? But once you learn it, and from there, you can do it. It'll take extreme perseverance to get through this place. Alright, once again, we could bother with all of this crap, or we could do this. I think long nail is a charm that helps out a lot for this, just because the range of your nail would probably make it easier to bounce off of things, if I had to guess. So, that might not be a bad idea to bring here. It would make bouncing on things much easier to time, which is an advantage of those two length-increasing charms, especially Mark of Pride, which extends your length by a lot more. I mean, in fact, if I wanted to, I could even overcharm by equipping Mark of Pride. Alright, here we go. Bounce off you, and there we go! Skip that whole thing! You could probably figure out how to get through it. You just jump between the saw blades as usual. This part, oh man. This part you have to dash through while it's cleared, and figuring out the exact timings and the positionings of things are like, you know, it's not about timings. The timing's the easy part. The positioning is the hard part. You have to position yourself properly so that you land in the safe spots. Or you at least land somewhere close and can do a little minor adjustment before they next pop out. This part's fucking hard. And yet I nail it first try, because... I don't know, I guess just... The Pale King feels like granting me passage. Almost. Alright. I was trying to make some kind of clever statement there, and it didn't come out sounding as clever as I hoped it would. This part's also very hard, because you have to fall through this stuff very correctly. So let me... Okay. Fall through this, stick on the walls to give yourself infinite time to time this next thing. I still got crushed by the bottom of it. It is the most stressful thing taking on the White Palace with no upgrades and no charms on. Because then you have like 5 hits and very limited soul to replenish it, and so every little hit sends you closer and closer to death. Like, without these charms, the White Palace is pretty hellish on your first playthrough. With these charms, it's very manageable. There we go. Oh, right, there's another layer afterwards. There's safe ledges to the side, but I forgot that was there. Okay. There we go. And then there we go. Perfect. For doing that, you will open a shortcut, so you do not have to repeat that section again should you die here and be sent back earlier. They thought of you. They thought of any of you that don't bring charms or upgrades in. All right. You can hit the ones on the floor, but not the ones on the ceiling, and that is very annoying. I believe, I want to say this is the final room, like the final section. We're on the home stretch of this place now. And down below, there might be something a little special. I'll have to see, though. First things, you can Crystal Heart to reach the platform easier, but do be aware, there's thorns, so you do not want to Crystal Heart the whole way. Anything here? There might actually be something here, but I think for now, I'm going to go back. This part, oh my god. Okay, let me tell you a funny story about this part. The video is uploaded on YouTube, but because the first time I came to this part, I was doing the complete wrong thing. I think I was trying to do that, which you totally can do. You can totally skip through that. But I was thinking that was the way you were supposed to handle this part, when really, all you need to do is do this down here. Even more so, I was trying to bounce off of the wing mold there. Let's see if I can get back around. Yeah, I was trying to bounce off of this guy and nail a double jump plus a wall jump through there, which is way harder than even just bouncing on the saw blades. I never thought to try bouncing on the saw blades, which you can very easily do to skip past this part. But yeah, this is the main intended thing. I think the wing mold is just there for soul. Is there anything over here? No, there's not, and I used up my stuff. Okay. My hit counter is going up very highly from just me showing off stuff. Anyway, whichever way you end up over here, the next thing you want to do is this. Okay. Perhaps not as risky. I think you can do it a little safer, like as it goes up. There we go. Yep, there we go. Jump around it like that. There's a certain rhythm to it. Once you get that rhythm down, you're fine. You do not want to go down. You want to keep going up, because going down is just taking you back to where we already were. Oh god, this. It's a little hard to see, but you can see where the spikes are about to pop out from the walls. You see those, like, white bars there? That's where they pop out. Stay on this side, it's much safer. Jump up through. Okay, cool. Now, we Crystal Heart through. Bounce on you guys. Land on the platform. I don't think there's anything down below. I'll check. Because I'm here to check stuff. I'm the checker. I'm the checker man. Something, I don't know. Break all 3 of those because I hate the White Palace. Okay, this? No, this isn't the end. I don't think so, anyway. Okay. This might be kind of leading towards the end? Not really sure, I can't remember. Either way, up there is where you're supposed to go. However, for once, exploring down here will actually lead you to something. Okay. Doesn't look like it does. But trust me, it does. So if you've been going out into all the open sections, for once, your curiosity is rewarded. Congratulations. All right, let me go out this way, not use up my dash until we're here. Then we can, there we go. Dash, double jump, bounce off you, there we go. Down here is this passageway. And inside is a darker area of the White Palace. Nowhere near as glamorous as the outside. Can you break these? Oh no, you actually can't. That's actually a cool twist on things. These things are locked, and they're hardened. You cannot break them easily. Normally, you would be able to just break them easily with your nail, shove them aside, as if they were nothing, but this time, no. So those are the shells that the wing molds are inside, hanging up there. That's a big thing with the Hallownest crest on it. Those look like the crown that the Pale King wears in all the depictions of him. And then we have a tablet here. Void, yours is the power opposed, but yours is potential, eternity potential, force that could deny time. Void, harness shall be placed upon you. I guess this is the king establishing control over the void. Yours is the power opposed. So the king is very bright and white, and as we've been seeing, the White Palace is a very bright, glamorous place, and so the void is the natural opposite to it. This is the king's workshop, supposedly where he put together not only the wing molds, but I assume the king's molds as well. Oh, this is the king's molds armor on the ground here, and that's the crowns they wear. Okay. I just put that together just now. And then this here. A four-armed creature was made inside of this. Where else have we seen a four-armed creature? One that I actually brought up earlier this episode. You know, it would have actually been better to save all that lore about the void until now, because, yeah, this will be a great time to bring it up. Where is this fucking guy? Here he is. Yep. It's the Collector. This is supposed to show you that the king created the Collector out of void. I don't think the specific purpose is ever made clear, but to reiterate, he was trying to box creatures of Hallownest in to keep them safe from the infection. And he ended up going a little far with it, in terms of the grubs. The grubs were always safe from the infection, or so it would seem. At the end of that area, you are placed back down here, where I just got done destroying these 3 lamps earlier. And then you actually can jump back in. Is this place available to you before you discover it? Editing me, go back and see if there was an opening there. Go back in the footage, I mean. If the camera's ever scrolled up that high, which I'm not sure it did. Anyway, let's keep going. Okay. This means we're done now. Once you do that crystal heart, and you get past these thorns, and you don't cancel it this entire time until now, you're done. You've completed the White Palace. How many hits did I take? Only editing me's notes for right now. Editing me, give me a grade. I'm asking editing me to do a lot recently, but, you know, he's got a lot of work to do. He has to freaking record those echoed voice lines to then put into the video and make echoed. It's quite a big job, honestly. I have to hand it to him. He does a pretty good job of it. Even though it actually only takes him 2 seconds, but you know what I mean. We have a bunch of dead king's molds here. I'm assuming because when you kill the king's molds, the creatures inside melt away, that's what happens when the void creatures melt away prematurely. That's just my guess, though. Over here, we have yet another secret in the White Palace. Similar to the unmarked fragile ground containing White Defender, there's unmarked cracked ground here, untelegraphed, I mean. It is marked, but it's not obvious that it's here. Stomp through, and you have yet another secret room. That little melody in the background is a much happier sounding version of the eerie music box theme that plays when you're nearby a shade that you have dropped. So that implies that that theme, that tune, is supposed to signify the queen. And since we were birthed from the queen, we were created by the king and the queen, that would make sense that we have the same tune playing around our ghost, except it's a much more creepy version since we're a ghost at that point. And I'm mentioning the queen because you can see an outline, an imprint of her in this chair here. This was supposedly her room in the White Palace back when she was queen. And now she just lives in a hole in the middle of the queen's gardens. Cut you down. Nope, nothing we can cut down in here. Of course, the furniture is way too cool looking for us to consider cutting it down, so I agree with that. Way too cool looking. Is that really the best fucking descriptor I had? I always, like, record a video, have that one moment where I can't think of a word to say, and then after I'm done recording the video, I think of the perfect word for it. But of course, it's after I've already fucking recorded it, and then I can't actually use the word anymore. Doesn't look like I'm actually touching anything on this window, but I technically am. You guys don't say anything Dreamnail dialogue-wise, do you? No. But you want to know someone who does? This guy. No cost too great. I'd probably disagree with that, but that depends on things. We go past him. We can actually find an unmarked, untelegraphed, breakable wall. Would you look at that? Well, you're once again rewarded for your curiosity at hitting every single wall you pass by as you go. In this room, we have a floor that looks strikingly similar to the Temple of the Black Egg. If I had to guess, because we're in a dream realm right now, this is someone's dream, and I have an idea of whose dream it might be. This is the Temple of the Black Egg somewhere within the dream. No blazing kin, only one light shall shine against the dark. The worm becomes beacon, minds expanded, to yield, to devote, eternity and promise, and charge in progeny cursed. Alright, so for me to give my full thoughts, I need to look up the definition of progeny, 1 second. It means a descendant or the descendants of a person. Okay. So by no blazing kin, I'm sure it means no infected kin. No one can be infected. Only one light shall shine against the dark, that's my own. The king's own light. The worm becomes the beacon. The pale King of Hallownest is a worm. He becomes the beacon to expand everyone's minds, as he's been doing, to yield and to devote. So basically, I will rule over the land and the infection can go screw itself, is what this is saying. And this is related to the Black Egg. You know, it's the promise you made when attempting to seal away the infection inside the Temple of the Black Egg, and that's why this area resembles the Temple of the Black Egg, because it's the part of his imagination. I do believe this is supposed to be the Pale King's dream. Even though we access it through the corpse of a King's Mold, that doesn't necessarily mean it's the King's Mold's dream. I don't have any strong evidence for it, but the way I see it is that the White Palace is the King's own safe space, his idealized safe space, where he is inside of his throne room behind the most dangerous security system ever crafted by anyone. Absolutely no one except the most determined can reach him, least of all the infection. He's trying to keep away from the infection as much as possible, hiding away from the fate of his kingdom. And then, one day, one of his own offspring managed to get through the security so that we can retrieve one of the key items we need to put an end to all of this. Soul of worm, soul of root, heart of void. We now wake up outside of the corpse that started it all. And now we can see the remains of the original palace. It's likely that the White Palace you went through was not what the original palace was actually like. It was probably a lot smaller and a lot less filled with saw blades. That said, we will never know what the original palace looked like, because now it's all in ruin. I have to say, I absolutely love the starry night sky of this place. It reminds me a lot of Elden Ring's Shifra River. This whole game kind of reminds me of Elden Ring in that way. And what's funny is that the first time I played this game was back in 2022, mid-2022, back when Elden Ring had first released and was the hot new thing. And I was basically having the same kind of experience, but in a different game. A game that people were already familiar with by then, but still. It is just funny to look back and realize that I was having a very similar Elden Ring-ish experience with Hollow Knight at the same time as everyone else was having the same experience with Elden Ring. I felt kind of loosely connected to the gaming community at that time. The corpse has fallen a little bit, but you can still go back into the White Palace anytime you want. In older versions of Hollow Knight, you couldn't. This was added in the Grimtroop update, and you'll see why. Let us scroll over to the final charm of Hollow Knight, Kingsoul. It is the most expensive charm in the game at 5 notches, in exchange for slowly filling your soul meter over time, at a rate of 4 soul every 2 seconds. If that sounds low, yeah, it kinda is. It is pretty low, but it also opens the way to a birthplace. Whatever that means. With this new charm in possession, I wish to not only equip it, because goodness knows this is gonna be the last time I ever remember to equip it, and then we're gonna show this off to the white lady to show how far we've come. Or rather, should I say, let's show it to our mom. Probably don't need any of these on anymore, so let's throw you on. I also want Gathering Swarm, because I am going to need money. In fact, I probably don't have enough money for what I want to be doing, so let's put you on along with Greed. We'll do Mark of Pride. Oh. Actually, considering that I am backtracking a lot, sure, let's put on those 2 charms as well. Well, you can interact with them from this side as well. Used up all my soul to show you the rate of filling. Yep. You gain 4 soul each and every time of that. I could do the math to figure out how long it takes, but I'm in the middle of recording a video. My brain does not have the power for that. So, editing me, it's up to you. Do the math. I command you to, or else. I won't be the first to tell you that this effect, it's not useless. In fact, it's pretty nice to have. The ability to just slowly get soul back over time, no matter what you're doing, is a good one. It has its use. But it is pretty weak considering the charm is 5 notches. That is a lot, and I don't get why it's 5 notches. I think that's one of the charm's most defining lows, is that it's super high cost, because like, with just it alone equipped, it takes up almost half of your entire build, dedicated to a slow refill of soul. Yeah, this charm is not that great considering that. It is plot important, so I'll give it that. But, well, I guess the true negatives of the charm have yet to show themselves, so I'll save that for later. For now, let's go say hi to our mom one last time. Do I seem you've already said this. Ah, so it bears our once fractured soul. Now, I'm sorry. That's the second time I've done that. Well, time to continue, I guess. A Kingsoul. What is it at the heart of it, I wonder? If its curiosity wills it, it should seek out that place. That place where it was born, where it died, where it began. Whenever you say it, you're referring to me, which I have to say is a pretty mean way of referring to your own child, but I guess I get it. But that also hints us to where we're supposed to go with this charm. The Abyss might have something new for us. And I still haven't filled up on soul. Oh my god, it's so slow. Oh, here we go. Such strength, such resolve, such dedication. Is it more than simply a vessel? I almost feel like I'm once again in the presence of my beloved worm. And then there's the rest of it. Alright, cool. Do I dream nail you? Do you have anything more to say? Nope. Alright. With the Kingsoul in possession, we have almost completely unlocked the means of... that was a weird way to phrase that. Alright, we have almost completely acquired the means of unlocking the true ending of Hollow Knight. There is but one more step to take, and we'll do that at another time. For now, I have one last plan to end this video off. And to do that, I gotta go check what the price is. Well, actually, I would go check the price, but it's all the way in the corner of the world, and I don't feel like going there. It's not in the corner of the world, but it's out in an awkward corner of the world that would take a long time to get to, so I'll just say that I think the price is something like 8,000 Geo. Clearly, I do not have 8,000 Geo since I spent all of that upgrading my Fragile Charms to Unbreakable. So now it's time for me to farm Geo for the very first time. And I'm gonna show you what the wiki at least claims to be the most effective geo-farming place. Or method, not... I guess place works too. But you can tell which direction I'm heading, or well, if you remember what's over here, It's the Coliseum of Fools, specifically Trial Number 2. Why not Trial Number 3? That would reward you with more, right? Well, Trial 3 is freaking hard, and it's also very long, whereas Trial 2, at the strength in the game we are at right now, is very easy for us, and yet rewards a similar amount. The farming method is to just play Trial 2 over and over again. It may not be the most effective. I do know that wikis of games can sometimes be wrong about how effective something is, but it is at least a very fun way of farming Geo, so that's how I'm going to choose to spend my time. This is not going to help. Neither is that, so let me instead... you know what? Let's try tanking. Why not? Let's try tanking. Of course, I know that my usual evasion self is going to take over and I'm not actually going to demonstrate a tank build properly, but that's okay. That could be something for you to try in your own playthrough of this game. I always do like to encourage people to play these games on their own, which is why, in the future, if I ever do any more Let's Plays, which is actually not gonna be the case for long, but you know, any playthroughs I do in the future, they probably won't be of the type of game that's super story-focused and has, like, no gameplay to it whatsoever. Alright, I don't have Quick Slash on me, mainly because I wanted to bring Kingsoul into a fight. I wanted to give Kingsoul something to do, you know? Oh god. I will say, Thorns of Agony didn't seem to be a very popular charm among the community, and I can see why, because whenever you're being hit by projectiles, it won't do anything against the enemy you're fighting, if the enemy you're fighting is projectile-based, and as you progress in the game, more and more enemies become projectile-based. It really only helps against the ones that attack via contact damage, but there, as I just said, there aren't a lot of those as the game progresses. Blocked ya. Fuck! That was poorly timed. Blocked ya! Little detail I didn't show the first time through this trial, but the audience laughs when the Grub Mimic gets revealed. I'm not sure why they're laughing. I mean, maybe it's just funny that I almost got tricked by it, but I have no emotion on my face, so how could they know that I feel sad? That I feel betrayed? I don't know. There's a good example of the tank build at work. I could just have kept going on with that heal, whereas I would have had to stop otherwise, because then I would have taken damage and my heal would have been canceled. But that way, I got a net positive gain in health, and I even attacked them back, so yeah. There's the trial done. The fragments of the jar that the Grub Mimic come out of remain on the floor afterwards. Interesting. Alright, let me super dash through my earnings. That is 3,000 Geo. I had a vague memory that maybe the price of whatever I'm going for here is actually 4,000 Geo. I hope I'm right about that. Anyway, I'm just gonna refight this a couple more times, and I'll see you when I have enough money. There's a fancy way you can take out that Grub Mimic. Good news, everyone! I just looked it up, and it turns out that the price you need to pay is only 4,000 Geo, and we have that amount by now, so that's all we need to do. I only needed to play it twice. I will say, though, if you're gonna use the Coliseum's second trial as a farming method, put on the charms that make you deal more damage, put on Strength, put on Quick Slash, put on Shaman Stone, instead of freaking Kingsoul like me. Because, yeah, that is a very lengthy thing for just like a little burst of 2,000 Geo at the end. It's a good amount of Geo every time, but I'm starting to have doubts that it's the most effective Geo farming method. Alrighty. It is time to head over to the Nailsmith's hut at the edge of City of Tears and make our final purchase in this game. After this, there will literally be nothing else to buy aside from rancid eggs from Tuck if we so desire them. But I don't really need them. I suppose I could try to buy as many as I can just for fun. There's a limit of 80 rancid eggs. If you have 80 rancid eggs, she won't sell you anymore, but, you know, we could try to hit 80 rancid eggs in the remaining money we have, though I don't think I'm gonna have much money remaining after this. Alright, let's do it. We've had this coiled nail for so long now. I think it's time we see our nail in its ultimate form. Oh, you've returned. I see you have some pale ore, or rare fine metal that. Give me your and some Geo for my efforts, and I'll reforge your nail to make it stronger. 4,000. I was thinking it was 8,000, but I guess not. Cheaper than I thought it would be. As you wish. I'll get to work then. It's done. The reforging is done. Your nail is much stronger than it used to be. As strong as it could ever be. In only your weapon have I seen such potential. Finally, I behold the majesty of a pure nail. To think this moment has come upon me so soon. I must step outside a moment. What can I say? They didn't have the budget for the animation. He also shut off his fire on the way out. Let's take a look. The Pure Nail, the ultimate weapon of Hallownest. Crafted to perfection, this ancient nail reveals its true form. I kinda wish in this case the nail got something extra special rather than just +4 attack damage, but hey, can I really complain? It now deals the most damage it will ever deal, without charms, of course. This time, I'm not going to directly tell you the attack damage. I already said that every upgrade of the nail increases its damage by 4, and the previous nail upgrade was 17 damage, so you can figure out the rest from there. Now, let's see what Nailsmith is up to. With the pure nail forged, my work in this lifetime comes to an end. My only remaining desire is to see and feel the nail strike true. I beg you, cut me down. As my final moment in life, I want to taste the blade's exquisite edge. After all this time, all this toil, haven't I earned it? That's a big ask. He doesn't have any thoughts, though I believe he does if you enter his home and go back out. Yes, now he's dream nailable for whatever reason. My life's work achieved. What more is left? Plenty! Do not hesitate. I beg you. Cut me down. I want to taste that blade's exquisite edge. Here, you are presented with a choice. You can cut him down with the nail. Or you can leave. And that is what I shall choose to do this time. If you exit the room fully and return, he will be gone. Where might he have gone? Well, I don't think you're really intended to find him that easily, but he has gone somewhere. You might just run into him again if you were to pay a visit to Nailmaster Shio. Return to Nailmaster Shio's hut, and the Nailsmith will have found Shio and made good friends with him. Oh, look who's joined us. We have quite a merry crowd now, don't we? This fellow came wandering into my hut, quite distraught and on his own quest for a new calling in life. We talked and found a common love of creating and building and honing a craft. So now we make art together. It's good to have company. I hadn't realized how lonely I was. It's like being with my brothers again. Stay with us if you like. This is so cool, man. It's so much better than the alternative choice, which I'll be going over in a bit. Oh, hello, traveler. How strange that we should meet again in a world as vast as this. I must thank you for not killing me when I asked you to. I was irritated at first, but I had some time to think up there, and I soon saw the wisdom in your decision. The world is made of more than metal and weapons. I set out exploring, and soon found my way here. Shio is a master of many arts, and has promised to teach me what he can. I think I'll be quite happy here. Good to hear, man. Let's see what else y'all have to say. Building these models takes patience and a light touch. It's worth it, though, seeing the grand old Knights of Hallownest come to life before our eyes. Mighty Hegemor was always my favorite. What a towering figure he was, though surprisingly soft-spoken for one so large. They were all impressive in their own right, of course. Fierce Drea, kindly Isma, mysterious Semer, and the other one. Dude, the other one? You're building him right now. That's Ogrim. You respect my shitty friend. Or else. Brother Aura, okay. You say the same thing. What about you? An age spent toiling alone. This is much nicer. We're building a full suite of the kingdom's knights. In their time, I barely ever paid them attention. But Shio keenly remembers each. It's so refreshing. Nothing like the crude practice of nail work. I just love all the intricate details. This is fabulous. I'd never believe my claws capable of such deft construction. I mean, you constructed my nail really well, so I believe it. That's all you guys say for this encounter. I think there is a little bit more information on Drea that you can get elsewhere. I don't know what you have to do. I'll try to look that up for the next video. Until then, though, this is yet more information on the 5 Great Knights of Hallownest, even though, Nailsmith here is building a King's Mold, not one of the Great Knights of Hallownest. I'm just gonna say, that's just a lowly guard. I believe if you were to leave the hut and go back in, yes, sometimes you'll see them doing this. As you can see, Shio has painted the Nailsmith, and he's sitting on the table like this. Probably a reference to Titanic, maybe? I'm not really sure. That movie gets referenced all the time, so I would not be surprised if it is. I'm afraid I can't speak at length. If I move too much, Shio's masterwork will be ruined, and I hate to see him upset. Though he may seem imposing, in truth, he's a delicate sort. Definitely seems that way. So, your travels have brought you back. What have you learned? How have you grown? Myself? I'm still trying to capture something with my brush. I'm not quite sure what that thing is. I'm pretty sure what that thing is. You're trying to capture this guy with your brush. I have spare brushes and plenty of paint. Once you try the nail, feel free to join me in my art. I'm not sure I could draw nearly as well as you. The achievement that you unlock for encountering these two in this state is called Happy Couple. Make of that what you will. In the meantime, I think it's time for me to, very depressingly, show you the alternative choice to the Nailsmith's quest there. Which I ended up falling into on my first playthrough because it's what he wanted, right? Even though he was just kind of thinking irrationally in the moment. Should you choose to hit him at the top of that ledge there, you get the most hilariously janky death animation, which kind of hints to you that that wasn't the right choice, I guess. Or, well, you know, there is no right choice in this situation, it's just whatever you choose to do. But, you know, after that, the Nailsmith can be found floating in the waters of the Junk Pit in the Royal Waterways. I don't believe he can be dream nailed, because you can't use the dream nail in water. Oh, there it is. Okay, pure. And that's all he says. That's his alternative ending. I definitely prefer the one where he goes to hang out with Shio. It's so much happier, and in the end, he forgives you for not doing it, so it's all the better. Don't worry about my geo count. This is my first file. This is the very same save file that I played through back in 2022. Alright, with all that gone over, I suppose there's no better place to end the video than right here. I reloaded the save file because I switched save files to show you what the alternative choice. That's why my soul meter is slowly refilling again, even though it was full just 5 seconds ago. Next time on Hollow Knight, I've got a couple of topics I want to talk about. First of all, Salubra should be very excited to see that we've completed our charm collection at last. Then, the main topic of the video is going to be trial number 3. Knowing me, there will probably be 1 or 2 extra points that we'll be going over in that video because I just can't help myself but find a million things in this game to talk about. It's how I work. Thank you all so much for watching, if you did, and as always, I will see you all in the future.